Welcome to lesson 4. This lesson is basically about learning the components of fitness. And when you hear about components, that basically means the pieces or the parts of fitness. So we're starting with a little quote from Hippocrates. If we could give every individual the right amount of nourishment and exercise, not too little and not too much, we would have found the safest way to health. And again, this kind of sums up what wellness is about. It's finding that right amount that brings about your best performance in every aspect. And anything can be done too much or too little. And so we're really looking for balance. So here we go. We're going to go into the 5 components of fitness. So the first component of fitness that we want to point out is cardiovascular endurance. And you can see some examples on each of these slides about each component of fitness. But there's also a little definition. So when you think about cardiovascular, there's 2 parts to that. Cardio is the heart, and vascular is the system of transporting the blood. It's the capacity of the heart and lungs to deliver blood and oxygen to the working muscles. So check out if you like any of those activities. In each of these components or pieces or parts, you're trying to find something that works for you. Muscular strength. Muscular strength is defined as the maximum amount of force a muscle can deliver in a single contraction. And so these activities you're seeing is fairly intense. And muscular strength is kind of the intense part of muscular development, while muscular endurance is really the ability of a muscle to continue delivering the force over a sustained amount of time. And most of us, for our overall wellness, we're going to probably shade a little bit more towards doing things that develop muscular endurance, although muscular strength will still be important. We may be going towards muscular endurance more. Flexibility, the ability to move joints through their full range of motion. So how much a joint can move back and forth. And even as we lose our flexibility, we lose our range of motion. You see some people here who have some pretty good flexibility, and we do have differences that are just naturally based on genetics in every component of fitness, but yet flexibility can always be worked upon. And then the last one is body composition, and this is one that's not so obvious, and it's the determination of the amount of fat in your body versus what part of your body is fat-free mass. And the fat-free mass is the bones, muscles, the tissue, and water. And so we're trying to keep our body fat low. And so all the components of fitness definitely help. And yet, probably one of the most important is that you've built in that cardiovascular piece, because that will really be key in keeping your body composition low. So a question for you. Are you in balance? And right now you're going to have this discussion with hopefully somebody around you, or at least with yourself, but it's always great just to talk with somebody. Does your exercise routine utilize all 5 components of fitness? Most of the time we're pretty good with 1 or 2 and tend to ignore the others. And it doesn't mean that they're all going to be perfectly balanced, but can you at least hit into all those components? And which component of fitness do you feel best about? There's probably one that you're most comfortable with and you spend most of your time in. And then, of course, what component of fitness do you think you need to spend a little more time addressing? There's a short quiz for you to do as you finish up this Prezi in this lesson.